This story happened in 2018, and I still haven't taken a night route since. I was driving a late-night bus along Route 66, deep in the Nevada desert. It was supposed to be a normal trip. A few passengers, an empty road, nothing unusual. But at exactly 3:13 a.m., I picked up someone who should not have been there. And what happened after that still follows me to this day. I have been a long-distance bus driver for over 15 years. Night drives never scared me. You get used to the silence, the darkness, the empty highways. But that night felt wrong from the beginning. The air was colder than usual. The road felt too quiet. Even the engine sounded different, like something was off. I looked at the dashboard clock. 3:13 a.m. I kept driving. 10 minutes passed. Maybe more. I checked again. Still 3:13 a.m. I tried to ignore the clock, telling myself it was just a glitch. Old buses have issues all the time. But something about it didn't feel normal. I picked up my phone again. 3:13 a.m. The time hadn't moved. A strange feeling settled in my chest. The kind you get when something is wrong, but you can't explain why. I focused back on the road. The desert stretched endlessly in front of me. No cars. No lights. Just darkness. Then I saw him. A figure standing on the side of the road. At first, I thought it was a trick of the headlights. But as I got closer, I realized it was a man. He was standing completely still, facing the road. Wearing a dark hoodie, head slightly down. No movement. No signal. Just standing there. At 3:13 a.m. I slowed the bus. I don't know why I did. Maybe instinct. Maybe habit. Drivers are supposed to stop for passengers. That's the job. But something about him felt off. The bus came to a stop. The door opened with a loud hiss. The man didn't move for a few seconds. Then slowly, he lifted his head. And stepped forward. The man stepped onto the bus without saying a word. His movements were slow, almost unnatural, like each step was delayed by a second. The dim interior lights flickered as he entered, and for a moment, I thought the power might go out. "Where are you headed?" I asked. No answer. He didn't even look at me. He just walked past, heading toward the back of the bus. I watched him through the rearview mirror. Something about the way he moved didn't feel right. Too smooth. Too quiet. Like he wasn't fully there. He chose the last seat. Of course he did. They always do. I shook the thought away and closed the door. The bus started moving again, engine humming low as we returned to the empty highway. I checked the clock again. 3:13 a.m. Still. I felt a chill run down my spine. I looked at the other passengers through the mirror. A couple sitting quietly. A man asleep by the window. No one seemed to notice anything strange. Except me. I glanced back at the last seat. The man was sitting completely still. Head down. Hands resting on his knees. Not moving. Not breathing. Just there. Then suddenly, he lifted his head. And looked straight into the mirror. Directly at me. The moment our eyes met in the mirror, I felt a sharp chill run through my entire body. His face was still mostly hidden under the hood, but I could see enough. His eyes. They didn't look normal. Too pale. Almost white. Like there was no life in them. I quickly looked back at the road, my hands tightening around the steering wheel. My heart was beating faster now. I told myself not to overreact. Maybe it was just the lighting. Maybe I was just tired. But something inside me knew, that wasn't normal. I checked the clock again. 3:13 a.m. It hadn't changed. I grabbed my phone and unlocked it with one hand. 3:13 a.m. No signal. No network. Just the time. I swallowed hard. That's when I heard it. A faint sound from behind. A soft movement. Like someone shifting in their seat. I slowly looked into the mirror again. The man wasn't in the last seat anymore. My breath caught. I scanned the rows. He was closer now. 3 seats ahead. I didn't see him move. I didn't hear footsteps. But he was closer. I blinked. And suddenly, he was one more seat forward. Still sitting. Still facing down. But moving, without moving. Seat by seat. Closer to me. My hand started shaking on the steering wheel. I pressed harder on the gas, the engine roaring louder as the bus picked up speed. I didn't care about the schedule anymore. I just wanted to get out of that road. I looked at the mirror again. He was closer. Now just a few rows behind the other passengers. But something felt even more wrong. The other passengers. They weren't reacting. No one turned around. No one noticed. It was like they couldn't see him. Or worse, like they weren't even there anymore. I blinked and looked again. The man who was sleeping by the window, gone. The couple, gone. The seats were empty. All of them. Except him. My chest tightened. The bus suddenly felt colder. I could see my breath in the air. I tried to speak, but my voice wouldn't come out. I looked back again. He was now sitting directly behind me. I could feel it. Even without looking. A presence. Heavy. Cold. Right behind my seat. Then slowly. Very slowly. I felt something near my ear. A breath. Ice cold. And a voice. Low. Cracked. Not human. Did you miss my stop, driver? I slammed the brakes. The bus screeched to a stop in the middle of the empty highway. The sudden silence was overwhelming. My ears rang, and for a moment, I couldn't even breathe. My hands were frozen on the wheel. I slowly turned my head. The seat behind me was empty. Completely empty. No one there. No sound. Nothing. I stood up from my seat, my legs shaking. I looked down the aisle. Every seat was empty. All of them. The passengers, gone. Like they were never there. My heart was pounding so loud I could hear it echo in my head. I stumbled back into the driver's seat and looked at the mirror again. Nothing. Just rows of empty seats. I grabbed my phone with trembling hands. 3:13 a.m. Still. It hadn't changed. I whispered to myself, this isn't real, this isn't real. Then suddenly. A loud knock. From the bus door. I froze. Slowly. I turned my head. Someone was standing outside. In the darkness. Right in front of the door. A shadow. Tall. Still. Waiting. I stared at the door, my body refusing to move. The figure outside didn't knock again. It just stood there, perfectly still, like it had been waiting the entire time. My hand slowly reached toward the control switch. I don't know why. Every instinct told me not to open that door. But something else, something stronger, was pulling me. I pressed the button. The door opened with a loud hiss. Cold air rushed inside. But the figure was gone. There was no one there. Just the empty road. The endless desert. I leaned forward, trying to see better. Nothing. No footprints. No movement. No sound. Then I heard it. From behind me. A soft whisper. Very close. "Thank you, for stopping." My body locked. I didn't turn around. I couldn't. But I knew. He was back. Inside the bus. I slowly looked at the mirror. He was standing in the aisle. Right behind me. Closer than before. Closer than ever. His head slightly tilted. And this time, I could see his face clearly. Pale skin. Cracked lips. And eyes. Completely white. I couldn't breathe. His reflection in the mirror didn't look real. It looked wrong, like something trying to imitate a human face but failing. His eyes didn't blink. His lips slowly stretched into a smile, but it wasn't natural. It looked forced, broken. My hands gripped the wheel, but I didn't move. I couldn't. The engine was still running, but the bus felt frozen in place. Then I noticed something else. The clock. I looked down. 3:13 a.m. Still. The second hand was moving. But time wasn't changing. I looked back at the mirror. He was closer. Now leaning forward slightly. His head near my shoulder. I could feel the cold coming off him. Then he spoke again. Soft. Cracked. Almost like something scraping against stone. "You stopped, but it's too late." My heart dropped. Too late for what? I tried to move. Tried to turn. But my body wouldn't respond. Then suddenly, the bus lights flickered. Once. Twice. Then went out. Complete darkness. And in that darkness, I heard breathing. Not just one. Many. All around me. Those of you watching from a computer, PC, or television, make sure to subscribe or follow the channel or page. Thank you. The darkness inside the bus felt alive. I could hear breathing from every direction now, slow and uneven, like something was waking up around me. My hands were still frozen on the steering wheel, but I could feel something moving closer in the dark. Then a faint light flickered from the dashboard. Just enough to see the mirror again. He was still there. But now he wasn't alone. Behind him, there were more figures. Standing in the aisle. Silent. Still. Too many to count. I tried to scream, but nothing came out. My throat felt locked, like something was holding my voice inside. Then I heard footsteps. Slow. Dragging. Moving toward me. From behind. From the aisle. From everywhere. The mirror showed them getting closer, but when I turned my head slightly, there was nothing there in the real space. Only in the reflection. Reality and the mirror didn't match anymore. Then the man behind me leaned in again. And whispered directly into my ear. "This bus never left at 3:13. My mind went blank. What does that mean? Before I could think, the dashboard clock flickered. 3:13 a.m. And suddenly, I remembered something I should have noticed earlier. The road outside. It never changed. Those of you watching from a computer, PC, or television, make sure to subscribe or follow the channel or page. Thank you. I looked out through the windshield and my blood turned cold. The desert highway was gone. There was no road anymore. No sand. No sky. Just darkness stretching in every direction like the bus was floating inside a void. I turned the ignition off. But the engine was still running. I tried the doors. They wouldn't open. The bus wasn't responding anymore, like it was no longer part of the real world. Behind me the whisper came again. Soft. Close. You stopped at the wrong time. I slowly looked at the mirror. He was right behind my seat now. So close I could see every detail of his face. The cracked skin. The hollow white eyes. And the smile that didn't belong to anything human. Then he said something that froze my soul. This bus never had passengers. My mind snapped. I remembered the seats. The people. The couple. The sleeping man. But now, I couldn't picture their faces anymore. It was like they were fading from my memory. He leaned closer and whispered. You've been driving alone since the beginning. The mirror flickered. And suddenly I saw the truth. The bus was empty. I was alone. Sitting at the wheel. Stopped in the middle of nowhere. 3:13 a.m. frozen on every clock. And behind me, nothing. No one. Just silence. But before I could breathe again, the mirror showed him smiling one last time. And the glass went black. The mirror stayed black for a few seconds. No reflection. No road. No movement. Just empty darkness staring back at me. I sat frozen in the driver's seat, my hands still gripping the wheel. My mind kept telling me to start the bus, to leave, to wake up from whatever this was. But something felt deeply wrong. Then slowly, the mirror flickered again. And I saw myself. But not as I am now. I was smiling. Sitting in the same seat. Driving the same bus. But my eyes, they were completely white. Like his. My breath stopped. I looked down at my hands. They were still mine. But when I looked back at the mirror, I was already gone. The seat behind me was filled again. The hooded figure was sitting there, watching me drive. Then he leaned forward and whispered something one last time. You were never the driver, you were the passenger. The dashboard clock finally changed. 3:14 a.m. And the bus started moving again. By itself. Into the darkness. No road. No destination. Just endless night. And I realized something terrifying. This route never ends. It only changes drivers. Fire those of you watching from a computer, PC, or television, make sure to subscribe or follow the channel or page. Thank you.